Look, I want to tell everybody, if you get a summons to court, I get a lot of people that get this beginning of the week. If you get a summons to court, make sure you answer and make sure that you actually show up, because showing up is most of the battle. You can actually end up winning any court case if you actually show up, go to court, and make sure that you're there so that you can, win the case. A lot of times, most people are not. You don't end up talking to them, and it ends up costing you a lot of money, a lot of harassment. They go after your check. They start calling you all the time, and guess what? Answer those calls. I think where a lot of people make a mistake, they're not answering the calls. They're not talking to the creditors, and you can end up winning if you actually talk to them. What's up, Mal? What's up, Vance? Vance, what's going on, Vance? But I would actually pick up the phone, talk to them, and make sure that you fight back. You got rights. A lot of people don't realize this. Going to court, I had a buddy of mine just called me this morning. He was like, Marvin, my nephew got a summons to go to court. What do I do? I said, well, the first thing is you got to make sure you read the paperwork, because you may have to answer. You may have to answer them. You may have to actually respond, and don't be afraid to respond. Responding is not a bad thing. It could actually help you out. You can actually get to a point where you don't even owe the debt anymore. It could come off your credit. You don't owe it, but you gotta read it. You gotta do a little work. And I think that's what people fail to realize with their credit. They just don't want to do the work. And a lot of times it doesn't take a lot of work. You just gotta sit there and look at it, read it, figure out what they want you to do, and then figure out what you can and cannot do. And a lot of times you can do a lot, trust me. You can do a lot more than you think. So if anybody has any questions about collections or collection agencies or creditors, put those questions in the chat. Let's talk about it. But I'm going to tell you right now, do not ignore it. Do not ignore it, because ignoring it will only cause you a bunch of problems later. And you could be responsible for a debt that you may not even owe. That's the crazy part. A lot of times you may be responsible for a whole debt you don't even owe. And if you haven't got it, get a copy of this book, The Psychology of Credit. It can give you a good understanding of what's going on with your credit, so that you can figure out what you need to do with your credit and the things you need to look at doing or correcting. A lot of times I tell people they're worried about getting things removed from their credit and forgetting about the fact that they have to build credit. Building credit is way, way more important sometimes than actually removing things, because you're so concerned about removing things. You're not taking the time to get a secured card. You're not taking the time to get a credit card. You're not taking the time to pay your balances down. All of that stuff affects your score. And if you go to Smart Credit, I'm going to give you guys our link to Smart Credit. If you go to Smart Credit, it will actually show you how you can boost your score. They got a feature in there that's crazy. It actually shows you how you can predict your score for the next month, what you need to pay down, how much you need to pay it down, and it'll kind of give you a guesstimate of your score, because we get asked this all the time. And I think it's called Score Tracker. People are always asking me, Marvin, what will my score be next month? I have no idea. I can't predict the score. Everybody's credit is totally different. So why don't you guys look at Smart Credit right there and sign up for Smart Credit. It'll actually help you predict your score if that's what you're trying to do. Because I have a lot of people that ask me that, and I'm not able to predict the score. What I can do is help you figure out, what you need to do, but I can't predict your score. So, definitely sign up with Smart Credit, figure out, what you need to do to, get your scores up, because that's what it's all about. And most people don't realize building credit will help you more than anything. Help add more credit to new credit that you pay on time. Most people don't realize building credit is just as important as getting things removed, and it takes time. All of these things we're talking about, 30, 45-day intervals, it's going to take you time to get that credit score where you want. But the thing is, start working on it now. Start working on it now. Don't sit around and procrastinate, because that's what most people do. It's the beginning of the week. Let's get started on it. Let's figure out what we got to do to get your credit to the next step and actually start doing some work on it. Whatever you got to do, I would start doing that, because it's going to get you in a better position. Because what you got to realize is interest rates are going up. And when interest rates go up, guess what happens? You're going to get a smaller house. You're going to get a less expensive car. And you need to get yourself ready to be in position to, take advantage of things where if the rates go up, are you going to have the credit score to get you approved for a house? I've heard about real estate deals right now falling through because people don't have a credit score. So don't let a credit score stop you from having a major opportunity in your life, or being able to buy your first house, your first car, or even, start your business. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, don't let the credit score hold you back. Because yes, if you haven't done it, get a copy of this book, The Psychology of Credit. You can look right up there in my profile and you can get it, or you can go to Amazon and you can buy it. And then I want you to start working on, if you just spend an hour a month on your credit score, I'm telling you, your scores will change. They'll get a lot higher. Let me know what kind of questions you got. Let me know what's holding your score back, because a lot of times it's something simple. If you got a small creditor, you got the choices of, you could settle with them. You could actually, you could fight them as far as disputing it. And you can continue to build credit like we're talking about. Figure out what you got to do to build your credit, and take your time and actually do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't think about, hey, I'm going to wait till the next month. Start working on your credit now, so it'll help you get in a better position, because if you don't, nothing will change. If you sit down and you work 1 hour a month, if you pay a balance down, if you get a secured card, and don't just stop at one secured card. Talk to your bank or your credit union. Ask them, what kind of credit builder programs do you have where I can get my credit in a better position? Because that's what you want to do, is get yourself in a better position where you can figure these things out. And, you can figure out what you got to do to, get better interest rates. Because the thing is, you don't want to pay for something and not get it. Somebody said, I joined your program and I found it difficult to reach you and I paid a lot of money. Okay, inbox me. That's all you got to do, is inbox me. And I got Mal on here. Mal, if you're on here, make sure you inbox Broadwater Jackie. So Broadwater Jackie, I'm going to ask you, have you started rebuilding credit? Because a lot of people say, well, Marvin, my score hasn't moved. And I can tell you right now, even before we talk, if you haven't started building credit, your score is not going to move. If you haven't paid your credit cards down, your score is not going to move. So then we can look at the negative items. So what I need you to do before we talk, Broadwater Jackie, is make sure that you look at your credit, because we can look at it and then you may not understand it. Each conversation, we need to look at it together so we can tell you what came off, what's still there, and what you need to do moving forward to get your scores up. Because it's not all about deleting the negative items. I can tell you right now, a lot of people talk to me, they're like, Marvin, I don't see this moving, I don't see that moving. And the biggest thing that's going to determine your score, when you think about it, about 35 to 70% of your score is things that you're doing now. Inquiries. Like I talked to a guy this morning. He's like, Marvin, I went to a car lot and they pulled my credit too many times. Things like that will lower your score. So, I'll make sure that Mal gets in touch with you. We'll call you today and we'll make sure that we answer all your questions, whatever that is. And like my guy, ATM Jr., who's on here all the time, he'll tell you that, we're here to help you. We're here to help you get to the next level and figure out what it is that you want to do and help you get yourself in a better position. But we need you to do your part. I always tell people, it's two things that you got to do when it comes to credit. You got to make sure that you're working on the things that you can control. And really, majority of that credit report, you can control. If you got negative items or collections, all you got to do is contact them. You contact the creditors, talk to them, answer the phone, and then figure out do you really owe them? Like some of those third party collectors, it's a chance you may not even owe them. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone. Don't be scared to talk to the creditors, whoever it may be, because a lot of times it could be in your benefit to answer the phone and actually talk to them. But if you guys need some help with all that, give us a call, 770-578-4165, and then we can help you figure out what you need to do to get yourself in a better position. You know, that's what it's all about, is getting yourself in a better position, being able to take yourself to that next step in life, and also having better credit. I mean, nobody wants to have bad credit at the end of the day. So having better credit will make you probably feel better, and you're going to pay less for a lot of things that you're going through in life, as far as your car note, your rent, your house note. If you got great credit, it'll actually cost you a lot less by having great credit. So you guys pick up that phone, call us, and I want to see if Broadwater Jackie is still on here. Maybe I can answer some of her questions. But, you know, we got to look at it ultimately. But if I can get you to go live, Broadwater Jackie, that'll be even better, because we can answer your questions right now if you got time. See if I. Oh, she's unable to join. Okay. We're trying to get in touch with you. You may be at work. I get it. Everybody can't jump right on. Oh, you send me your number. Okay. We'll make sure we give you a shout. All right. Anybody else got any questions? It's Monday. Let's get to it, y'all. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out what we got to do to get ourselves to that next step, that next level of having great credit. And I think what most of you guys got to do is just look at your credit report. Most people just don't take the time to look at their credit report. And I'm going to pin, what's up, Dream? I'm going to make sure I pin the credit monitoring up here, because you guys need to take a look at it. So I'm going to give you the credit monitoring where you can look at it right now. So if you guys need to look at your credit, look at it. There's the link right there. It's smartcredit.com/DKR Group LLC. Take a look at it. Figure out what you guys got to do to get your credit, you know, next level. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Getting your credit to the next level, and then figuring out what you got to do to keep it there. It's not all about just, oh, let me get my score up so I can buy this house or buy this car. It's about keeping your credit score there, and then knowing that, okay, if I'm going to buy something in July or August, I got to do that work in June to get it figured out. So I want you guys to really, really, you know, work on that. All right, Dream says, should I wait to get my utilization down before I start fixing my credit? No, you should work on that always. Like, always work on your utilization, because that just helps your credit from month to month, and you're going to pay less interest. What's up, King Tut? But nah, you're going to pay less interest. I would work on my utilization all the time. Is that Dream?
I'm trying to shout it. Flip it right.
Dream.
What's going on, bro? What's good?
What's going on, man?
All right. The service.
What was your question?
Bad. No, I was saying, should I work on my utilization first before I start working on fixing my credit?
I would work on it all the time. You know, like, I would work on it every month. It's not a wait thing. If you want a good credit score, just start working on it now. Don't wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna sign up to your program, but one of your guys hit me up, but when I asked him, he never responded back to it. So I was like, I don't know. I ain't never really feed back into it.
I got it. But yeah, utilization is something I would work on all the time, because you got to think about it. You're going to pay less interest if you start paying those bills down.
Yeah, I know. It's all credit card bills because I don't work during the summer, you know, because I work for the school system. So I use my cards for the summer. So that's what it is, man. You know? Yeah.
I feel you. What part of the country are you in?
Oh, I'm in Georgia.
What part of the country? You in Georgia,
you heard
okay.
Me?
But yeah, just make sure that you make sure you just go ahead and keep the utilization down. I would keep it down.
Yeah. No, I was saying, I understand that, but I was saying, like, right now, when I looked at it, is at like a 90. Is at a 90. I know it's supposed to be down to like 10%, something like that, 10 15. But
Right.
it's at a 90 because I got two, three cards that, like I say, through the summer, I'm paying my bills, this, that, whatever I need, you know what I'm saying? So it's high. So I'm saying before I join your program, should I get that down first, then join your program, or should I just work on that as it goes?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, I don't know exactly how much you owe and how fast you can pay it, but if I were you, I work on it immediately. I work on keeping that utilization down big time.
Okay. All right.
Yep. All right,
All right.
man.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
jumping on.
No
All
problem.
right,
Have a
thank
great
you.
day, man. You too. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
man.
Have a great week.
You too, brother. All right, you too. Have a good one. But no, you guys, like he asked a great question. Utilization is so important. So make sure that you do keep your utilization down. The main reason why I say it's going to save you a lot in interest. It's going to keep your payments down. So, paying off your debts, I definitely say do that. Keep your bills low because that means you're paying less than interest. Who wants to pay interest? That means you're losing money. So I wouldn't participate in losing a bunch of money. I would, pay that stuff down. All right. We got somebody else that says, if disputes aren't working, when is it a good time to start sending out pay for deletion letters? It's up to you. I mean, I would really look at my credit and then let us do a credit analysis for you because it could be things that you're missing that you can do. If you got third party collectors, for instance, yeah, I would be settling with them and I pay a lot less than what you're probably thinking. Like, for example, if you owe $1,000, I may be offering them $200 or $300 because they're third party collectors. They're not the original, collector. So I wouldn't offer them a lot. You could do two things at one time because you're really asking me two questions in one. You can dispute the credit bureaus, but you can also send a letter to the creditors or the collection agencies. So think about what you're asking me. You got letters to go to the credit bureaus, then you got letters to go to the collectors or the original creditors. So really you can work on both at the same time. You don't really have to wait. So it's not like a waiting thing. I would actually probably do both at the same time. But give us a call. We can look at it a little closer and then figure out what we can do to help you out. So call us at 770 578-4165. Let me see if I got King Tuck on there. I ain't talked to my guy King Tuck in a minute. Yeah, but you can call us at 770-578-4165 and let us see what we can do to help you out. Maybe we can help you figure that out and get yourself in a better position. So usually, we'll give you what's called a credit analysis where we'll look at your credit and figure out what we can do to maybe give you some different things you're not thinking about. And none of this is legal advice. Figure out what you guys got to do, read, educate yourself, and get yourself in a better position. That's really what it's all about. But it does take time. It does take a lot of reading. It does take looking at your credit report. So I'll make sure I leave the smart credit link where if you want to figure out how to predict your score, you could do it with the smart credit link. And then also if you need us to help you with your credit, all you got to do is give us a call. Our number's right there, 770-578-4165. And then just say, hey, I need some help looking at my credit. I want to figure it out. What do I do next? And, we'll figure out what we can do to help you guys. So the main thing is look at your credit, figure out what you want your score to be, use that score tracker, and let's get those scores up. And if you guys need me, call me, inbox me. I'm going to make sure Mal gets with you guys. Mal, I need you to make sure that you, chat with everybody and inbox them so we can figure out who we can help. But thank you guys for jumping on here, and I'm going to talk to y'all later.